Older Redditors, what do young people get completely wrong about past decades? Probably just how often you had to accept that you couldn't find out the answer to something. If you had a question, you could ask your family, maybe your friends, maybe your teachers, and your last chance was to check the library. But if the library didn't have the answer, then you just had to accept that you weren't going to get an answer. Or you'd have to hope to come across that answer someday in the future. Now you just ask Google and get 10 answers in just seconds. Up until video rental stores in the early 80s. At school the next day every kid was talking about what was on TV the night before. As every single family was watching TV together every single night. With some exceptions. Most people watched the same thing as their schoolmates or coworkers. Just to be a part of the conversation. How on time you had to be for your favorite shows because there was little to no chance you'd see that same episode again until they, hopefully, did reruns during summer. I remember waiting anxiously for the nightly news to be over so I could watch my favorite TV shows. Commercial breaks were just mad rushes for the bathroom or to the kitchen to get something quick to drink. That it was incredibly common to just not have pictures of events or other things we see as important now. Not only did we have entire vacations where no pictures were taken, we could go months without a single picture being taken of any member of our family unless it was particularly notable. A trip to St. Louis? No pictures. A trip to Disneyland? Maybe a picture at the entry gate or one of the souvenir pictures of us with a character. A trip to zoo? No pictures. An average day? Forget about it. Frequently, the only pictures taken were at major holidays like Christmas or on someone's birthday. They understand restaurants had smoking sections, and that bars and clubs were filled with cigarette smoke. But I don't think many understood how pervasive smoking was. There were ashtrays and people smoking literally everywhere. Jury boxes had ashtrays in front of every juror. Judge smoked. Lawyers smoked. The gallery smoked. You smoked on planes, trains, buses, taxicabs, and all transportation centers. You smoked at the library, the PTO meetings at schools, the town hall and all city offices. Hell, you could smoke at the courtyard at my high school as a student. You smoked in the elevator and on the escalator. The mall, sports venues, doctors' offices, hospitals, the movies, the plays, opera, concerts and every other public performance. A non-smoker would come home often smelling like smoke. One was constantly surrounded by smoke. It was insane. Probably underestimating how few choices there were. Today, it seems like everything imaginable is available in a variety of sizes. Delivered to your door overnight. Catalogs and mail order. With 4 to 6 week delivery. Malls were the best thing ever. All the stores in one place. And not downtown. What does the wealthiest person you know do for work? A family friend retired after being a COBOL programmer for 30 years. About 2 years after his retirement, a company came to him and said, "Name your salary," and he requested around $1.5 million per year. He was hired on the spot and still works there. Pig farmer. I kid you not. He's my father's old friend. I visited him once when my father and I were passing through the state. He lives in a modest classic farmhouse with his wife, both in their 70s. I mentioned I was starting a school in West Africa as we were catching up. A few weeks later I got a text asking how much it would cost. I told him $40K. Thinking it was really nice of him if he wanted to send a few dollars. And #X200B. I got a check for $40K. I thought it would take me years to raise that. I'm typing this from Sierra Leone because he also paid for the house I thought would take years to raise funds for. It's a guy the first work with. He started with one Jimmy John's franchise and turned it into 10 franchises. ran them for 10 years, then sold them all and dumped the money into the stock market and real estate. He did this all while working as an airline pilot. Currently still working at the airline. This dude owns and flies his own private jet on top of all that. The wealthiest person I know and hang out with regularly built a company, IT services, and then sold it for several $100 million. He now runs a company that does the same kind of IT services in a different field. He figured out a winning business formula and is just repeating it in a different market. My friend sold RuneScape Gold. He made a fortune. Own their own conveyor belt business. Makes almost $2 million a year after it's all said and done. What is a disgusting smell that you like? The smell when you first have to kick the heat on the winter. Mechanic shop smell. I love it. Before photocopiers, they used a machine with a handle to create copies. We all used to inhale the papers when we got them. Subscribe, my brothers.